Hey guys, hopefully everyone is doing well. Today's target is to solve question number 9. The chapter which we are related with is company financial statement. We are related with corporate sector. And please look at the shape of this question. It is very important before start. Whenever you are given any problem, please read about it. Now you can see that we have two columns of amount, one present at left side, second present at right side, and you can see that total of both columns are available. If you are unable to read elements present over here, that's not the problem, just see the shape. It's an overview. So if you will see that total of both sides are available and two different columns are available, so consider it as a trial balance. First thing. Secondly, we will be in a very comfortable situation because assets and liabilities will be present only in debit side. Liabilities and income will be present only in credit side. What does that mean? Both are segregated in a group way, asset and expenses, liabilities and income. Please note it down, assets and expenses, liabilities and income. After that, here you can see it is little different from appearance of upper part because it is adjustment. Adjustment means there are several factors already present over here. But if within a year the amounts are not properly adjusted, that is why these amounts are given in adjustment. So every adjustment present over here will have two effects, one on left side in profit loss statement and one on right side in balance sheet statement. On the other hand, this is your performer. Over here it has three parts on left side, two parts on right side. First part is called direct side where you will calculate your gross profit. Then second part, here you will be able to calculate your net profit, and third part would be considered to calculate appropriation balance. This appropriation balance would be transferred to liability side. On liability side, you can see that there are three parts, fixed, current and reserve. Sum of these three parts would be the total of liability and total of balance sheet as well. Then final part is present over here where you will be considering fixed asset, current asset and investment. Sum of these three would be considered as total of asset side and total of balance sheet as well. So here is performer, and this is overall view of your question. And once again I'm telling you that if you have this trial balance and adjustments at the same time, so you will be solving your adjustment side as your first step. So that is why we are going to start. We will be starting our question from here. So this was the brief introduction, and I'm very sure that you people right now are mentally prepared what is our target today and what we are going to solve today. And here we are ready to start. So let's begin, and as I have told you, we will start from adjustments. Stock at cost 5,80,000. In previous questions, we have experienced that gross profit was already available. So this stock was having no concern with trading account. So let's see if gross profit is available. But here you can see sales are available, stocks are available, purchases are available. It means gross profit is not available. That is why we will consider this closing stock as part of adjustment, although it has been written over here. So it would have two effects. First, we will go to cost of goods sold statement where opening stock, the first thing, then you will add. I was actually observing that N was not present. After which you will add purchases, returns would be subtracted, and closing stock would also be subtracted. And we are talking about this closing stock. Alright, so how much of closing stock is available? 580,000. First you will put 580,000 over here, and it was informed that this closing stock is present in adjustment. Obviously it would have its second effect as well. We will go to current asset side, and here closing stock would also be mentioned, amount of which is 580,000. Adjustment, double effect, one on left, one on right side. It means first adjustment is completed, which was not having its number. Let's start from downward side. Our next adjustment, adjustment number 1 is saying provide to 20,000 for further taxation. Since it's capital sort of expense, so we'll go to appropriation side. And here in expenses, we are going to write taxation reserve as described in adjustment. Amount of this taxation reserve is 20,000. So first we will mention this 20,000 in appropriation side, then we will go to current liability side, and here we will also mention taxation reserve as second effect, amount of which was 20,000. So as you have seen, one on right side, one on left side, two adjustments are completed, and we were talking about second adjustment. That means by number first adjustment 20,000 for further taxation. Now next, depreciation written of 31st December 92. So we'll have to see which date we are following. 31st December 93, it means this is previous year's depreciation. And I have just seen, look at here, number 3, no depreciation is to be provided for current year. So it's very important for you. This is accumulated depreciation and no depreciation is required for the current year. One thing. Now second thing, look at here, depreciation is already been given in your trial balance. Read over here, depreciation account 6,24,000, and I will let you know. Let's add these amounts first. So we have 289 200, then add 309 300, again add 7500, then add 3500, then add 14,500. So guys, in this way the total we have got is 624,000, and in trial balance, look at here, 624,000 is given. So were assuring ourselves this is accumulated depreciation, already part of trial balance. Although you can see it has been written in adjustments, heading is adjustment, and this depreciation is present in adjustment, but total amount is already available in trial balance. Why we are focusing upon this point? Because depreciation is supposed to be written on both sides if it is present in adjustment. But as I have told you that total of amount of these depreciation is already present in trial balance. So it's not an adjustment, it would not have double effect. We will be recording it only once, no dual effects. So we'll go to balance sheet side, and here each and every asset would be mentioned over here. Like first asset is land and building, we will write over here first asset land and building. We will subtract its depreciation, amount of which is 289,200. So just write down 289,200 over here. Alright guys, so second asset is machinery and plant. Write down machine and plant, after which you are supposed to subtract its depreciation. So machinery and plant 309,300 mention in asset side in front of depreciation. After that we have furniture. write down, and subtract its depreciation as well. Furniture depreciation is 7500. Just put over here. After furniture, we have office equipment. So just write down office equipment and subtract its depreciation. Amount of this depreciation office equipment is 3500. Mention it in fixed asset side. After office equipment, we have another asset, motor vehicles, and subtract its depreciation as well. Depreciation of motor vehicle is 14,500. So this is what I was requesting. Effect of this depreciation will only be in asset side. Since adjustment is required to be added over here as well, but why we are not writing depreciation in operating expenses? It is not adjustment, it was already written in trial balance. So in this way, our second adjustment written over here is been completed. Just temporarily I am saying it as adjustment. We have proved it. It is already present in trial balance. Now number 3 is saying no depreciation. Okay. Number 4, debts due to company are unsecured. Debtors worth rupees are bad. And new provision is also present. Look, for which full provision is to be made. We'll go to current asset side. First we will mention sundry debtors. Then we will subtract additional bad debts. After which we will subtract new provision for bad debts. And here please note it down. Debts due to company are all unsecured. Debts worth rupees 2000 are bad. These are additional bad debts. So mention 2000 in current asset side, which would be subtracted from debtors. And beside that, it is said 4300 are considered bad, for which full provision is to be made. This is your new provision, 4300. It would also be subtracted from debtors. Now come over here in operating expenses. There are 4 parts. First we will see if bad debts are present. Then we will add additional bad debts. Again we will add new provision. Then we will subtract old provision for bad debts. 2 elements are present over here. Additional bad debts 2000. So second effect completed. New provision 4300, that would be written over here. In this way, amounts present in adjustment, they have their dual effect. And ultimately we'll say adjustment number 4 is completed because both effects are completed. Number 5, director transfers 60,000 to general reserve. Again, it's a capital sort of expense. We will come over here and we'll write transfer to general reserve, amount of which is 60,000. Director transfers 60,000 to general reserve. So we are going to write 60,000 in appropriation account. Secondly, we'll go to current liability and here we will mention it is transfer to general reserve, amount of which is 60,000. Just post in current liability side as well. Dual effects completed. Next, and recommended a dividend of 7.5. Alright, so dividend is also part of appropriation account. So here you will be mentioning dividend, but calculation is needed. For that we need capital as well. So number 6 adjustment, authorized capital is this, of which 5,000 shares have been issued and paid up. As in earlier questions, it was told that authorized capital is just nominal capital. It's not an actual or real capital, just permission from the particular government institution that you can take this much capital from the public. So it's a nominal capital. Ignore this amount. We are related with this 5,000, which is actually issued, paid up and subscribed capital. Now come again back to fifth adjustment. 7.5 per share is your dividend. And how many number of shares? 5,000 is mentioned over here. So we are now ready to calculate our dividend. Number of shares 5,000, and for each share 7.5 rupees would be given as dividend. Let's see it again. Look, it is said 7.5 per share. Shares were 5,000. So what we have done, 5,000 multiplied by 7.5. This way we will be able to calculate our dividend. Each shareholder will get 7.5 as their dividend. So amount of dividend came over here. For second effect, we'll go to current liability side, and here amount of dividend 37,500 over here. So you can see that first effect 37,500 over here, second effect 37,500 in liability side, appropriation debit and liability side. This way our adjustment number 5 is completed, and there is nothing to do with sixth adjustment. Why? Because you will see that amount of capital, look at here, amount of capital is already present, and you can see that there are 5,000 share mentioned over here, each share 100 each. So it means, look, 5,000 number of shares, price of one share 100. How much total amount of capital? That is 5 lakh. And look, this 5 lakh is already mentioned here, 5 lakh and share capital. Again, our debate would be about this sixth adjustment. As we approved, the amount is already present in trial balance, so we won't be considering it as appropriate adjustment. There will not be two effects, only one effect. 5 lakh is your capital. You will come over here in fixed liability. First you will mention authorized capital and see how much authorized capital, which is mentioned over here, 10,000 shares, 100 each. So write down 10,000 shares and 100 each. This was authorized capital, and we consider it as nominal capital. It would not be added in fixed liability, just to show out. Then we have issued or paid up capital, and we were told that 5,000 number of shares, price of one share is 100. In this way we will be able to calculate our capital. Again, let me know what is 5,000, number of shares which are allotted, and multiply by 100 per share price. So issued capital is written over here. So guys, you can see that all 6 adjustments are duly added with their dual effects. Why we have entered number 6 and number 2 only for once? Because their amounts are already present in trial balance. That is why we are not considering them appropriate adjustment. That is why no dual effect. We had recorded them only once. Adjustments are completed. We will now be following our trial balance, which is present over here. And what is our target? We'll pick each and every amount present over here and we'll transfer it to the financial statement to their appropriate places. First, stock on January. Obviously, it's first January, so it would be considered as opening stock, amount of which is 290,000. Write down in direct side. After opening stock, we have fuel and power. This is direct expense, fuel and power. And on direct side, we will be posting it. Let's see how much of fuel, 10,300. 10,300 would be written in direct expense side. At this stage, I am telling you, look at here. Dozens of amounts are present and you are responsible to take each amount to their relevant place. It is very common, sometimes amount can be up or down, but please try to be focused and try not to put any wrong amount. Otherwise, you will have to check each and every amount again to see which amount was posted in a wrong way. So you may take time, you may take extra time to put these amounts with your focus. After fuel and power, we have salaries and wages. Now salaries part of indirect side, wages part of direct side. So where we should write salaries and wages. In paper, you will see the first name. If it is salaries, you will go to indirect side. If it is wages and salaries, you will go to direct side. So we are following first word and that was salaries. That is why indirect side we have chosen. Amount of salaries we will see, that is 2,17,000. So mention in operating expenses. Salaries and wages, and we need to go over here. One E was extra, that's deleted. After salaries, we have purchases, part of direct expense. So we'll go over here. Direct side, purchase place was already reserved. Amount of purchase is 232,200. Alright, so we have written amount in direct side. Then we have rent and taxes, part of operating side. So we'll come over here and we'll mention rent and taxes. Amount of rent and taxes we will see very carefully, that is 7,500. So just post 7,500 in operating expenses. After rent, we have insurance. Again, it's part of operating expenses. Write down insurance. Let's see how much amount of insurance is present, and that is 10,000. Hopefully, let's put 10,000 in operating expenses in front of insurance. Then we have prepaid. Now, prepaid is usually be written on in adjustment side, but right now it is written in trial balance. So there will be only one effect. We will go to balance sheet current asset side. And here you will mention prepaid, and let's see how much amount of prepaid expenses are, and there is a trouble. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So it is 27,500 hopefully. So we'll go to current asset side and we'll write the amount prepaid. Let's mention it was prepaid expenses. After which we have repairs, repair part of indirect side. Here you will mention repair. Amount of repair is 3,000. So put 3,000 in operating expenses in front of repair. After which we have again repair. This was repair of building, now repair of machinery. So here you will mention repair of building. Now repair of machine. Amount of repair on machine is 18,000. So just put 18,000 in operating expenses in front of repair of machine. Managerial commission. Let's see if there is any adjustment. No, adjustment was not present. So directly it would be written, and it is present on debit side. So it would be your other expense. So here you will mention commission, or you may write exact word manager commission. Now we will see how much amount we have paid to manager for his commission, 10,500, and you will mention it in front of other expenses side. Then we have director fee. This is also part of operating expenses, director fee, amount of which is 600. Let's write down 600 in operating expenses in front of director fee. Alright guys, now next is land and building, and amount is 475,000. Just put over here 475,000. After land and building we have machinery 350,000. 350,000 amount of machinery and plant. Then we have furniture 8500. Here you will post 8500 in front of furniture, fixed asset. Office equipment 4000. So here you will post in front of office equipment 4000. Then we have motor vehicle 22500, and here in fixed asset side you will post its amount. So guys, you can see that step by step, one by one, we are taking each element of trial balance and transferring to financial statement. Then we have sundry debtors. It's part of current asset side. So here we will mention sundry debtors already written. Let's post its amount over here. And we have got sundry debtors, okay, 290,000. So here 290,000 would be written. Last amount was motor vehicle, depreciation was 14,500. One extra amount is written. Let's delete it. So what we have done is last element which we have entered, sundry debtors 290,000. That's little strange. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Alright, sundry debtors 290,000. Why I was confirming? Because only 2,000 were bad debts. Huge amount of debtors and just 2,000 of rupees are bad, but it's okay. Whatever is given to us, we are following. After debtors, we have cash in hand. We'll go to current asset side, and here we will mention cash in hand. Amount of cash in hand is 3250. Alright, so it means in current asset side we had posted this amount. After that, cash at bank as usual. So here cash at bank, amount of cash at bank is 18350. Mention amount in current asset side. So guys, cash at bank is completed, and I think it was the last amount. So gradually we have completed left side, debit side is completed. Our focus now would be upon credit side. Profit loss account, this is part of appropriation account, and here in receipt side you will mention profit and loss account of previous year, while the amount of profit loss account is 50,900. So here you will post in appropriation account, profit loss appropriation account. Then we have sales. This is part of direct side. Here you will mention sales. Amount of sale is 365,000. Just put amount in direct side. Then we have share capital of 5 lakh, that was already written. Look at here, share capital 5 lakh. Provision for taxation. Look, note it down, it is not present in adjustment. So provision, provide, reserve or allowance, all are parts of liability side. So let's go to liability, and here reserves are present. And here you will be mentioning provision for taxation. Amount of provision for taxation is 15,000. Let it be put 15,000 over here. So what we have seen, provision for taxation 15,000. After which bad debt provision, this is old provision. Let's see how much amount it is. Bad debt provision 6,300. And here we have already written 6,300. Already its place was reserved, 6,300 old provision. So guys, next, bank loan on fixed assets. Loan is possibly be written on fixed liability side, or you can write in current. As it is not mentioned it's a long term or short term, so loan on fixed asset, that is why we have chosen fixed liability side. Amount of this loan is mentioned 125,000. So just write down in current liability side, fixed liability side, loan. General reserve is our next target. So we'll go to reserve side, general reserve in liability side. Now let's see how much amount of general reserve is, that is 1 lakh. So just post 1 lakh in reserve side of liability. Alright guys, after reserve we have unclaimed dividend. It's very interesting. Dividend should be your income, but here the word unclaimed is very important. Means company had announced dividend but nobody had come to receive them. There are two ways now. Since shareholders are not receiving this amount of dividend or the checks, so we should cancel them as nobody had claimed it. But second is, we will wait for a little bit, and we are waiting to give this dividend to shareholder. So it would be a burden and a liability for us. Let's go to current liability side, and here we will mention unclaimed dividend, and amount of unclaimed dividend is 1,600. Just write down in current liability side. Claim unclaimed dividend completed. Sundry creditor is also part of current liability. So here sundry creditors would be mentioned. Amount of sundry creditor 101,000. Let's mention it in current liability. Bill payable is our next target. This is also part of current liability. So here you will mention bill payable. Now we will see how much amount was payable in terms of bill payable, 32,000. And here you will write in current liability side bill payable. Outstanding expense. Again, you will have to stop and understand outstanding is part of adjustment, but since it is written in trial balance, we will not consider it as adjustment. We will not be doing dual effects or double effects, only single effect in current liability side, outstanding expenses. So here choose your liability side, expenses. So guys, you have seen that outstanding is part of current liability and you will be writing it only once, 75,000. No second effect is needed as amount of outstanding expenses present in trial balance. Manager commission outstanding, just like same which we have discussed right now. Managing director commission, but it is outstanding. Abbreviation I am writing because of less space, and that is 1800. Just put amount of outstanding in current liability side. So 1800 written. Now depreciation, that is already adjusted. Look at here, depreciation. It means we are not needed to write it again. Last, miscellaneous receipts. So let's go to operating income. You may write over here miscellaneous receipts. Amount of miscellaneous received is mentioned 600. So just put 600 in operating income. So guys, you have seen that all elements present on credit side are written and transferred and recorded in financial statement. Debit side was already completed. Adjustment were previously recorded. It means from A to Z, all elements are recorded. We are now free to start our calculations. First part is direct side. There were no returns, so sale would also be considered as net sales. Let's now calculate amount of cost of goods sold. First part, opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock. Please follow these signs or something happens. Once again we'll have to do it. Let's check it out. Price of closing stock 580,000. Okay. And purchases we'll have to see again, 2,32,200. That's okay. Opening stock 290,000. That is also okay. Okay, then let's start our calculation again. Opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock. That's very strange. We are getting minus answer. Okay, amount of sale, once again we can check, 365,000. Everything is okay. So why it is in minus sign? And we have even net profit of 160,000. Alright guys, let's see what happens. So we have fuel and power. Let's calculate our gross profit. So here you will go for sales and then subtract your cost of goods sold statement, also subtract your direct expenses. We have got 4,12,500, 4,12,500, and bad luck, gross profit is not given. That means answer of gross profit is not available. Otherwise, this amount is usually it's unconventional. Normally, it doesn't happen. So we'll have to check whether these amounts are correctly written or not. Let's get forward and see if we'll have to come back, because I'm not satisfied with this amount, and we will see it again. 5,80,000 is your closing stock. All right. So let's start our calculation regarding indirect side. First, we will see bad debts final amount. Bad debts are not present. Add additional bad debts. Then again add new reserve. Subtract old reserve. Bad debt adjustments are completed and zero answer, surprisingly. Alright, now we are ready to take sum of all operating expenses, one of four factors. Then operating income, there is only one amount, so you may take it outside. After which other expenses are also present, only one amount. No other income is present, so you may mention zero. So here we are going to calculate our net profit. First, let's take gross profit. Then we will subtract operating expenses. Here we have operating expense. Then we will add operating income, subtract other expense, add other income. So what we have got is our final amount. And look at here, net profit is 146,500 answer, while our answer is also 146,500. What does that mean? There was a fear as if any amount is mistakenly written over here. We had double checked. Opening stock was not changed, purchases were not changed, closing stock was not changed, and we have got the same amount. But usually it is unconventional. Normally it doesn't happen that cost had become in negative sign. So guys, in this way our two parts are completed, and happily we are ending this calculation regarding net profit. Let's start calculation of appropriation side. And as you know that to calculate appropriation balance, first you will take net profit, then you will add profit and loss account of previous year, and then you will subtract all expenses, all appropriation part of expenses. So what you are doing, net profit, add profit loss account and subtract all expenses. Finally, we have got 79900, while our answer available over here is also 79900. It means our appropriation side is also okay. So left side is completed. Now we are going to start our calculation regarding liability side. Here, first thing first, we will add appropriation balance over here, which I think was 79900. Let's check it out again. 79900, and we have added 79900. So capital plus net profit amount outside, we have two fixed assets, let's take some loan and amount of capital. So fixed liability side is ready. After which we will take sum of all current liability side, current liabilities that completed. There are two reserves. So here you will take sum of those two reserves. What we have done, sum of fixed liabilities, sum of current liabilities and sum of reserves. And finally, to take the liability side total, we will take sum of all these three: fixed liability total, current liability total, reserve total. Sum of these three is total of liability side, and please note it down, it is also total of balance sheet side. So let's see the answer. It is 1148800. So here you can see that 1148800, 11,48,800, and our answer 11,48,800. So it's a good thing that answer is also matched, and we are now focused upon our asset side. Here quite a working is needed. Land and building, let's its depreciation. Then we have machinery, less its depreciation. Then we have furniture, less its depreciation. After which we have office equipment, less its depreciation. Then we have motor vehicle, subtract its depreciation. So depreciations are subtracted. We are now ready to take sum of all fixed assets. So guys, here total of fixed asset is ready. Let's now focus for current assets. We have got debtors, less additional bad debts, less new reserve. Debtors are also calculated, with which we are now taking sum of all current assets. So here sum of current assets ready. No investment, so you may put 0 over here. Now what we will do, total of fixed asset, we will add total of current asset, and then we will add investment. So final total we have got 11,48,800. This is total of asset side and total of balance sheet as well, and you can see that absolutely equal, not a single digit is different. 1148800, 1148800. So in this way are all 5 sides completed, where we have calculated gross profit first, answer was not available. Then we have calculated net profit 146,500, answer was available and correct. Last on left side was 79900 appropriation. So here you can see 79900. Asset side we have calculated and liability side calculated. Here you can see 1148800. Answer was present over here, 1148800. It was absolutely matched with liability side. So guys, in this way we have completed our question, and look at here how much calculation work we have done. It was a lengthy question. From here you see dozens of amounts are posted, calculated, subtracted, added, and we have our final result. So guys, you can see that our question is completed. Although solution is currently available for you, but it's a very humble request. Do not rely on viewing this lecture only. Although it's a good habit, we'll have to observe, but if you will not practice by yourself, all hard work would go in vain. So I am requesting you to please practice it for 3-4 times at home by yourself. After practicing, if you see anything difficult, you are very open to share your problem through messages, text, or comments, or you can directly meet as well to share your problem. I will humbly be trying my best to answer your question quickly. So thank you very much for your time. It's time to say goodbye and it's time to end our lecture. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.